to the virtual CME program Yoshita 2021. Organized by the Department of Prasuti Tantra and Sri Roga on the occasion of 75th year of independence, Azadi Ka Amrita Mahotsav. Our today's guest lecturer is Dr. Sindhu Umesh, Assistant Professor of Department of Prasuti Tantra and Sri Roga, SDM IAH Bangalore. Ma'am is going to give a lecture on the topic of protocol of Ayurvedic management in the case of infertility. Now I request Dr. Dipanjali Ma'am, Assistant Professor of Department of Panchakarma, for the guest introduction.
Namaste. A great morning to the gathering present for this webinar series. Myself, Dr. Dipanjali, from the Department of Panchakarma, wholeheartedly welcome you all for this webinar series. It's my great, immense pleasure to introduce today's speaker of a day, a courageous, a companion, and orienter, Dr. Sindhu Umesh Ma'am. Ma'am has been graduated from Sri Dharmasthala Manjunatha Ayurvedic Medical College, Udupi in the year of 2009 and post-graduated from Sri Kalabhaireshwara Medical College and Research Center, Bangalore in the year of 2014. Ma'am is currently pursuing a PhD from Parel University. Along with this, ma'am has an additional qualification on YIC, CRAV and MDEMS. Presently, ma'am is serving as Associate Professor in the Department of PTSR, SDM, Bengaluru. She is also extremely well known for an Ayurvedic Garbha Samskaras, Sukha Prasava, and also Garbhini Paricharya, and in this modern generation for the female infertility. Ma'am has been presented a numerous research paper at various national, international, along with the webinar series. She is also endowed with the Best Paper Award in the 2021 for ArtaCon. Ma'am has published various articles on a case presentation and a literary review in a various well-known publications. She has lended many health awareness programs for women as well as children. She is also well known for a radio talks and television program in regards to the female health and infertility. Since 2015, Ma'am has been expertised in Ayurvedic Garbha Vidhi, Samskaras, and also with Masanumasika Garbha Vriddhi and Garbhini Paricharya. With all this brief introduction, I would be glad to welcome Dr. Sindhu Umesh Ma'am for today's session, and she will be lending a talk on protocol of Ayurvedic management in the case of infertility. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Now I request Dr. Sindhu Umesh ma'am to start the scientific session.
Yeah, thank you all. Am I visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll start sharing my screen.
Yes, ma'am. It's visible, ma'am.
Yeah, just a moment, ma'am. It will be visible. Just a moment. Ma'am, is my screen visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. I'll start. Om Shri Dhanvantare Namaha, Om Shri Manjunathaya Namaha. So, first of all, pranams and namaskar to one and all. My pranams to Principal of BLDEAS AVS Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya Vijayapura, Dr. Sanjay Kadlimati sir, Vice Principal Dr. SP Nalin sir, of the management Dr. MB Patil sir and Shri SP Patil sir, Chief Organizing Secretary and HOD Dr. Vijayalakshmi Hadimani ma'am, Organizing Secretary Dr. Raj Kumar sir. So namaste to one and all. Students, third year UG students, interns, PG, PhD students, clinicians, a warm welcome and namaste to one and all. So I'm here to present on the main and most burning topic of today, that is infertility, female infertility. So I thank for this opportunity and for the introduction. So I'll just start my presentation from now. So my topic is protocol of Ayurvedic management in case of infertility. So in this presentation, do let me know if I'm not audible or my slides are not visible. Yeah, I'll continue with my presentation. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Okay. So general consideration in this particular presentation, actually, I focused more in the sense only the female infertility. September is the PCOS month and which is the potent cause of female infertility. So only female infertility I have dealt. And in detail, the Trisutra Ayurveda, the Hetu, Linga and Aushadha of Strivandyatva, I have dealt here. Okay, how to go about, what are all the Nidanas, Samprapti, the Lakshanas, what are the Rogas which come under the infertility? Because we know that Nidana Parivarjanam Chikitsa and Samprapti Vigatanam Chikitsa. So when we know more in detail about the Hetu and the Lakshanas and the Rogas which cause infertility, it will be very easy for us for the treatment aspect. Okay, this is the thing I have dealt here. And for each be it Hetu, be it Linga and Aushadha, it is under a particular categorization as told by Ayurveda Acharyas. Yeah, and that is with reference to the correlation also. That is the Rogas with the correlation I have dealt. So we'll start with the introduction. We know that Chaturveda Purusharthas are the ultimate goal of the human life. Acharya Charaka also says in Vajikrana Adhyaya, yeah, Dharmartau Pritischa Yashayevacha Putrasya Ayatanam hi etad gunashchete sutashrayaha. That is Dharma, Priti, Yasha, Chaturveda Purusharthas, all. For that, Putra is the abode. Yes, and due to the stressful life of the male and multifaceted responsibilities of the female, infertility is alarming rate in India and in the world. Yeah, be it the primary infertility or the secondary infertility, it is alarming actually. And as we know, infertility is inability to conceive for a female and induced conception for a male. Yeah, induced conception in the female partner after 1 year of continuous and unprotected coitus. This is the, as we know, it is the definition of infertility, and actually it is 6 months for 35 years and above couple. And Acharya Kashipa, he also says, Tau dhanyo, those who are able to conceive, actually, Tau dhanyo, ato anyata bishajitavya. So it is fit for treatment. It is very much fit for treatment. Now, coming to the content, main content, that is the Trisutra Ayurveda, Hetu, Linga, Aushadha, as we know. Hetu here we can consider as the etiopathogenesis, that is the etiology, the external etiology, what causes the derangement of doshas and derangement of dhatus. Yes, that is the external one. And the internal Hetu is nothing but the doshaja nidana and dhatu vaishamyaja nidana. Yes, so the Hetu is again, Acharyas have divided as Bahya Nidana, that is nothing but the etiology. Abhyantara, it is the pathogenesis. So the Nidanas will be explained in this particular classification. Now, the Hetu. Yeah, again, the Hetu, etiology, coming to the Bahya Nidana or the etiology, external factors which are responsible for the Vandyatva. I have divided it again, as Acharya say, Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika and Adi Daivika Nidanas. So, which are all the Vandyatva Nidanas which are categorized here? So, in Adhyatmika Nidana, we know that it is the subject of the Sharira Mana, that is the Sattva, which is subjected to the pathology. Yes. So, again, here in Adhyatmika Nidana, again I have divided into Sharira, Indriya, Sattva and Atma. Okay. Because Sharira, Indriya, Sattva, Atma, Samyogi, Dhari, Jivitam. Any Jiva is subjected to Roga in these 4 dimensions. Yeah. And Adi Daivika, where Deva Bala Pravritta is the reason, and Adi Bhautika, that is the bhutas, and the abhigataja are the nidanas. So in Vandyatva, how we can take it? Yes. So coming to the Bahya nidanas main, and Trivida Hetu, as Acharya Charaka says in Vandyatva, again it is Asatmendriyartha Samyoga, Prajnaparada, and the Kala. Here, Asatmendriya Sadnikarsha, like as we say, we know that Hina, Mithya, and Ati, yes, of all the Gnanendriya and the Karmendriyas. Yes, we see the girls, the teenage girls, the girls after marriage, so busy with the mobile. Yeah. So darshanendriyataha ati yoga. Even at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, midnight, yes, just scrolling down the mobile. Yes. And be it with any gnanendriya for that matter. Yeah. Ati yoga, hina yoga. And karmendriya, vakpani pada payu upasta, and the ati yoga of the viharas, the night duties, the day duties, the viparyaya in the nidana, the viharas. Yes. And the sattva also here, the prajnaparada. Nowadays, like in clinics also, what we see is the married women, yeah, just after their marriage, yeah, they would be very much concerned with their professional life also, and they would find so hard managing their personal life even without a child, actually. Yes, even just after marriage. They actually say they are guilty with reference to this, they are guilty that they are unable to give justice to even their work area. Yeah, they are unable to give the justice even to the area of the work area, and even in the personal life to adjust to their new life of married life. Yeah, so that can be considered as the prajnaparada. And kala, it is so very important. Yeah, kala, we have different dimensions of kala. Here we can take the rutu. Yeah, adana kala, visarga kala, the rutu. Yes, sharad rutu, very much told. Acharya Kashyapa, actually, he hasn't told anything like samvatsara as a year for the conception, but indirectly he says rutu, that particular rutu is very, very important, and you have to wait for that rutu for the conception. And Visarga Kala is not fit for the conception. The main months good for conception is from November to February. Yes, and Kala, of course, I'll come to that. It is the Rutu Kala of the female. We'll come to that later. So, with reference to Trivida Hetu, yes, the Vanyatva Nidanas can be classified as such. Now, coming to Samanya Nidana of the Vandyatva. So, Ahara Viharaja, as I told you, everything, packed food, deep freezed food, deep fried food, yeah, and the masala items, the fried items, with the preservatives, they are so much vyavayi in nature that they directly affect the Shukradhatu. Shukradhatu here, according to me, I have taken that Saptamadhatu of male and female. Saptamadhatu of male is Bijarupi Shukra. Saptamadhatu of female is Bijarupi Stri Bija. Okay? Directly affects the Bija. Okay? Ahara and Vihara. The Samanya Viharas, as I told you, Vishama Sthananga Shayana, then the Viparyaya of the Dina and the Ratri, Jagarana, Diva, Swapna. Okay? And hello? Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. So now coming to the Atmajanidhanas, Purva Janma Krita Karma. Yes, it is a Ayurveda believes in Purva Janma Krita Karma and Daiva also. Now, and Adi Daivika is Daiva, Mityacharena, Tahastrinam, Pradushtena, Artavena cha, Jayanti, Bija dosha, Daivat. Yes, Daiva is told. And coming to the Adi Bhautika, we have the Agantuja Nidanas, that is the Abhigataja Nidanas also. Yes, any Abhigata to the Artava Srotas, as Acharya Sushruta says, any Abhigata is Vandyatva is the result. And coming to the Vishesha Nidana as such, in general, Vishesha Nidana to the Stri Vandyatva, we have Yoni Vyapat Nidanas, the Asruddhara Nidanas, Arthvadushti Nidanas, all those Nidanas classified here, which cause definitely the Vandyatva as told by Acharyas. He says Mityachara and Vihara. Okay, Mityacharena taha strinam. Okay, any achara, Mityachara. Maybe even Pravruddhalingam Purusham Yatyartam Ati Sevate, Ati Vyavaya, yeah? Ruksha Durbala the Naryaha, Tasyaha Vayuhu Prakyupyati. Yeah? Then Brishama Sthana Anga Shayana. Brishamaituna Sevanaihi. Yeah, Vishama Sthana Anga Shayana. You know, sedentary lifestyle of the female nowadays. Actually, the female orchestra and the female body, and for actually be it for male and female body, yeah, it is designed in such a way that it should be physically dynamic all the time. Yeah, how our Purvaja, people were so busy outside under the sun with the krishi, etc. Yes, always so dynamic. Yes, that is the designed work for a female and a male, but it is so much viparyaya. A lady from 9 to evening 6, she just sits in the same position for 8-9 hours. Yes. So this is very much viparyaya with reference to vihara. Again, sedentary lifestyle. There is no exercise. She won't just come out of her, house or office. Yeah, amidst the four walls. She has never seen the sun at all. Yeah. So that is the main thing here. And again, Sharira Janidanas, again, deranged Garbha Sambhava Samagri. I'll just deal this with, the Kshetra also. Yeah, deranged Garbha Sambhava Samagri. Be it, the Chaturvida Dhruvam Chaturanam Sanidhyat, Rutu Kshetrambu Bija, or the Shadbhavas, anything. And Viparyaya of Garbhadana Vidhi. I'll deal even this in detail in the next slides. Yeah. Now, coming to the Vishesha Nidana is told in Sattva. So, very, very important. Acharya Vagbhata says, Manaso Abhitapa. The lady with Manaso Abhitapa who is stressful, she's not happy. Yeah? Such ladies are contraindicated for Vyavaya and for Putra Prapti. Yeah? And Charaka says, Saumanasyam Garbhadharananam. So, those couple, this refers to both the couples. Yeah? Male and the female. Saumanasya is very, very important. And Hridi. They should be happy and conscious of what they are doing and happy with what they are doing. Yes, be it with reference to the perception of the partner or at the coital time, happiness is very, very important. And Abhyantara Nidanas, like actually, which definitely leads to Vandyatva, Acharya says that Vata Prakopa. Okay, any Vata Prakopa, Anilaha, Vayu Kruddaha. Yeah. And Dushtartava Apadravyahi. Yes. And actually in Visheshana Nidana, I have to also tell about the Apadravyas, where the girls of the teenage girls, they are distracted, with other maybe the Asadvrita acharas, yeah, using Apadravyas for the sexual gratification. Okay. All these are the Vishesha Nidanas in Vihara for Vandyatva. Okay. Bijadosha and Anila. Vagbhata also says Anila is so very important from conception to delivery. Anila is very, very important. Okay. That is being from deposition of the semen higher up in the posterior fornices, ascent of the semen, fertilization, implantation, development of the Garbha. Anila, very, very important. Okay. So when we come to these Nidanas, why I am telling this in detail is Nidana Parivarjanam eva chikitsa. Yeah, many a times there is no need of Aushadha at all. When you just sit with the couple and speak with reference to this, see, there is no need of the Aushadha at all. Nidana Parivarjanam eva chikitsa. I'll just deal the chikitsa in detail later. Yes, and now coming to the Abhyantara Nidana, that is nothing but the Samprapti. Yeah, what happens to the doshas? What doshas get vitiated? How it affects the dhatus? Let us see. Though acharyas have not directly told with reference to samprapti, yeah, I have just with reference to the acharyas itself, referring to the main scriptures itself, reading between the lines, between the shlokas, yeah, we can just elicit the samprapti for our treatment. Okay, and that is with reference to, again, Adhyatmika, Adibhautika and Adidaivika Nidanas. Okay, where here The Adhyatmika are the Nidanas affecting the Garbha Sambhava Samagri at the level of Sharira, Indriya, Sattva and Atma. Adidaivika is Daiva and Adibhautika is Agantuja. Yes. So this affects the Rutu Kshetra Ambu Bija. So my Samprapti here I have elicited with reference to what is the pathogenesis in the derangement of Rutu, pathogenesis in the derangement of Kshetra, Ambu, Bija, which leads to Vandyatva. Okay. And this very much helps us in the treatment also. Now, for example, Samprapti of the Rutu Vaishamya. How the Rutu, Vaishamya takes place. Here, the Rutu is, Acharya Vagbhata says, Nishiktasya Bijasya Phala Prabhavanugunaha Kalaha or Rutuhu. That is the exact time. See how beautifully they have mentioned what is Rutukala, the fertile period, isn't it? Yeah, maybe there was no follicular monitoring. They couldn't even see the ovulation also. Yeah, but they have told Nishiktasya Bijasya Phala Prabhavanugunaha Kalaha or Rutuhu. Yes, so that is the fertile period. And what causes the derangement of this fertile period is the Nidana of Vaishamya, again the Samanyataha and Visheshataha. Samanyataha is Mityachara and Dushtabhojana, and this affects the Jataragni. Okay, this is in Samanya. And coming to Vishesha Nidanas, again the Mityachara, absence of Saumanasya, presence of Chinta, Shoka, Bhaya, and also Nasikarma during Rajaswala Charya. Yes, very, very important. This causes Rutuhu Vyapadyate. Okay, what all happens, how it happens is Vata Pradana Tridosha Vriddhi takes place with all these. Yeah, Sthana Samshraya or the Sanchara Sthana in the Murda, that is Pranavata, specifically the Pranavata. It affects the Rasa, Rakta and Bija of the Stri Ashtamadhatu, as I told you. Yeah, and Vyaktasthana in the Yoni, where, see, we know that the ovarian cycle and the endometrial cycle are very much related. Okay, though they can be present independent of each other. Yeah, Andritavapi evam bhuta artava bhavati. Yes, though there is no menstrual cycle, visible menstrual cycle, yeah, menstrual flow, there can be fertile period. Yes, that is there, but they are dependent. They are very much dependent, isn't it? Because after the 14 days of ovulation, there is menstrual flow. Yes. So, Dushti in the Bija, again, here we see the Vyaktasthana in the Yoni also. Okay. And that is Rutuhu Vyapadyate. Yes. The fertile period. There is irregular ovulation and ovulation. Yes. Leading to, again, related to the irregular, the ovulatory period. Okay. That is the fertile period. And this causes Vandyatva. Fine. So this is how the Nidanas cause derangement of Rutu Vaishamya. Okay. This is Rutu. How the fertile period is deranged. Now, coming to Kshetra. Kshetra here is Garbhashya. We know that. Yeah. Again, the Samanya Nidana, Dushtahara, Dushtvihara, it affects the Jatragni. See, we should never leave the Udbhavasthana definitely for that matter, because these are the Nijarogas. Yeah. So Vishesha Nidana, here the Bijadosha causing the Kshetra Dushti. Either the congenital malformations also can be taken up. Okay. Yes. Then this causes the Apanavata Vaigunya, Sthana Samshraya, that is Sanchara Sthana in the Arthavasrota specifically. Here there is Sthana Samshraya definitely in the Arthavasrotas, not in the Murda. Okay. Then next affects the Rasa, Rakta and Mamsa Dhatu, and Vyaktasthana is Garbhashya and Artava. That is, when there is no Garbhashya, there is no Artava, menstrual blood also, isn't it? So this causes the Vandyatva. Okay. Kshetra. Now coming to Samprapti of the Ambu Vaishamya. Yes. So here Ambu actually refers to the Matuhu Ahara Rasaha. Rasatatuhu, isn't it? So that can be taken as before conception. How is the status of the Garbhashya and the lady before conception, and status of the Ambu after conception? But after conception is the different topic from today's, that is Garbhasrava, recurrent abortions, abortion, etc. Fine. So I'll deal with the first one, that is the before conception aspect today. Okay. So Dishtahara affects again the Jatragni. Ama formation is the must here. Yes, Ama is there. Udbhavsthana, Ama Pakvashaya. Sancharasthana definitely in the Rasarakta Vahasrotas. Vyaktasthana, Garbhashaya and Garbha. Okay. And before conception, it is Anapatya. Yes, there is no primary infertility. Yes, there is no apatya at all. And Garbhasrava, if it is Ambudushti after the conception, then it is Garbhasrava leads to Vandyatva. Now coming to the Bija Vaishamya, both Stri Bija and Pumbija, how there is Vaishamyata. Okay, again, Dushtahara Vihara affects the Jatragni. Okay, and here we can also take that Garbha Arambhaka Bija Dosha, that is Bija Dosha of the Mata Pita of that particular infertile lady. Okay, which causes the Vaishamyata of her Bija Dosha. Okay, Garbha Arambhaka, as Acharya says, Sushatacharya, Garbha Arambhaka Bija Dosha also can be taken here. That is the congenital malformations which leads to anovulation. Okay, Udbhavsthana, Amapakvashaya, Sancharasthana, here it is both, that is Artavasrotas and Shukravasrotas. So affects the Bijarupi Artava and Bijarupi Shukra, Vyaktasthana. That is the Vyaktasthana is Bijarupi Artava and Shukra, Bija Shukra, causes Vandyatva. Now, these were the hetus, the Bahya hetus and the Abhyantara hetus. Okay, Bahya hetus we saw how clinically, practically, socially, how infertility is affected. Okay, Abhyantara hetu. Okay, what dosha we have to target and which dhatu at which level we have to target and in which particular pathogenesis. Presence of Ama and Avarana. Yes, we have to target. Now coming to Vandyatva Linga, Hetu is over. Now the Linga. In the Trisutra Ayurveda, Hetu is fine. The Linga, here, there is no particular Lakshana of Vandyatva. Yeah, there are spectrum of diseases causing Vandyatva. And again, here, I have classified it as those rogas. Okay, be it the rogas of Yoni Vyapa, Tasriddhara, Artavadushti, anything for that matter. Yeah, classified under the derangement of Rutu, classified under derangement of Kshetra, Ambu, Bija. Okay. So coming to the Rutu again, affecting the fertile period. Maybe it is irregular menstruation or irregular ovulation. See, what is the difference between the Rutu and the Bija? Here the Rutu, there is ovulation, there is menstruation. Okay, but there is, sorry, irregularity. You have to regularize it for attaining conception. Okay, that is the difference between the Rutu and the Bija. Now coming to the Kshetra dosha. Here, local pathology of the genital tract, that is the anatomical defects. Okay, all the physical, organs, vagina, the disorders of the cervix, uterus, tubes, ovaries, not the ovaries here, but okay, until the tubes, till the fimbriae. Anatomical defect. Okay, and endometrial pathology, though there is excellence of this internal genital organs, there is no endometrium at all. That also is the Kshetra. And the third spectrum of Kshetra is the whole body of the female here. Wherever, any other Sarvadaihika rogas, okay, rogas of other systems, other srotas also cause Vandyatva. We'll deal with that. Now, Ambu, here, the Rasadhatu, as I told you, is before and after conception. And Bija is defect in the ovaries, that is an ovulation or oligo-ovulation. Oligo-ovulation, okay, though there is ovulation, there is no Nishitta. It is not, yes, it is not coming out from the Graafian follicle. We'll deal with that. LUF, luteal unruptured follicle, etc. Now, we'll start one by one, okay? Disorders causing infertility with reference to Rutu, Kshetra, Ambu, Bija. Elaborate descriptions, okay? So, now, diseases causing the Rutu, Tushti. Here, you can take it as Artavakshaya, Asriddhara or Pradhara. Okay. Here what happens? Why I have taken Artavakshaya? Which part causes the Rutu Dushti? See, one thing I just wanted to tell you all that one particular roga, yes, Artavakshaya, can also be a potent cause for Rutu Dushti and Kshetra Dushti, both. Yes. So, which yoga causing the Rutudushti, we will just see. Okay, just a moment. I think, yeah. Here, why Artavakshaya? Why I have taken that? Yathochita kala adarshanam. Yatha uchita kala. We know when it has to come. Yeah. So, yatha uchita kala adarshanam. It is not there. Artavakshaya. Yeah. So that refers to the oligomenorrhea due to estrogen deficiency and PCOD conditions, where the ratio of LH and FSH is deranged. Okay. Now coming to Asrigdara. Why Asrigdara can be a Kshetra Dushti with reference to irregular menses. Yeah, irregular menses and irregular ovulation is because Tadeva Ati Prasangena Pravritam Anritavapi. Though there is particular time for the menstrual cycle, it is not there at that time. Anritav, any time it can be present. Okay. And as a complication of Yoni Vyapats also, in Yoni Vyapats actually, Vataja Pittaja and Kavaja Yoni Vyapat, okay, there is regular menses. Okay. In Kavaja, Vataja Pittaja, Kavaja Yoni Vyapat, menses is regular there. Okay. Only there is derangement of Artava with reference to the peri-uterine pathology. But in Yoni Vyapats, when there is Pravrittam Anritavapi, it becomes Asrigdara again. Acharya says, Anritavapi evam bhuta artava bhavati Yoni Vyapatam api pradaratvam varnayati. Yoni Vyapat also turns to para when the same lakshanas of Yoni Vyapat is there along with irregular cycles. Understood? So, again here, menometrorrhagia can be considered here. Okay, that is with reference to the PCOD-like conditions in the menometrorrhagia, where there is LH surge leading to hyperestrogenism. Okay, here leading to, yes, menometrorrhagia. And metropathia hemorrhagica, hyperestrogenism, you know, having creating thick endometrium. It is not shed at once, and when it starts shedding, it won't stop. Okay, metropathia hemorrhagica. So here one thing again I wanted to tell you is, in Ayurveda rogas also, there are many concepts here. One roga of Ayurveda can be Kshetra Dushti, Rutu Dushti also. And even in the modern aspect also, there are spectrum of correlations for PCOD in Ayurveda. See, the oligomenorrhea, when the lady presents with oligomenorrhea in PCOD, you can diagnose her as Artavakshaya. When she comes with menometrorrhagia with LH surge, you can diagnose her as Asrigdara. So, PCOD is equal to Artavakshaya, Nashtartava, Vandya, Asrigdara, Allah. No. Okay. So, it depends upon how the lady presents, you know. There are 10 different correlations for PCOD. How she presents, how the lady presents, you can as such correlate it with Ayurveda 10 to 12 rogas. Okay, now only you have seen how we can correlate, isn't it? Now coming to the Kshetra Dushti, that was the Rutu Dushti, what I dealt. Rutu is irregular ovulation, irregular menstruation, fine. And coming to the Rutu Dushti, Kshetra Dushti, see, that can be classified as, the Kshetra Dushtis can be broadly classified as the Garbhadana. Yeah. In that kshetra, there is no semen at all. There is no sperm at all. Yeah, Garbhadana, something like that. Then next, sperm availability. That is sperm deposition, sperm ascent, and even the ovum uptake. Yeah. So though there is excellence of, you know, the Garbhashaya, Artava Marga, yeah, excellence of that. Though there is bija, uptake is not there. There is no fertilization, availability of ovum, availability of semen for fertilization at all. Okay, maybe the tubal blockage, something like that, you know. So that also deals with this. And the physiological component of Kshetra Dushti. Kshetra, as I told you, Artava. Okay, so we'll deal with one by one. Now, here, Garbhadana, here, Vivaha Samskara. See how our acharyas have told, yeah, just with, as I told you, Putrasya Ayatanam hi etat. Even the Vivaha Samskara, Shodashan Samskara is for Putra Prapti. Okay. They have told the concepts of eugenics, that is the exclusive selection of excellent genome fusions, yeah, for Vivaha Samskara. Okay, we'll deal in detail. Garbhadana Samskara, that is the epigenetics, you are modulating your genetic component such that there is excellence of ovum, okay, and the sperm. Garbhadana Vidhi, see, many couples we see, there is defective coital act, there is no pathology as such. Coital act defaults cause infertility years together, 4 years, 5 years, unconsummation of marriage, yeah, that deals with the Garbhadana Vidhi Viparyaya. And Garbhakarbhavas, okay, I'll also deal with that in detail. There are no factors responsible, there is absence of factors responsible for conception. Okay, these are dealt in Garbhadana. Here now, sperm availability, deposition, ascent, this can be again classified as congenital deformity of female genital tract. Yeah, though the male partner is excellent with his seminal quality and the sperm count, motility, yeah, there is default in female genital tract congenital deformities, yeah, which does not allow the deposition at all, which does not allow the ascent at all. Okay, and that is congenital deformity. And then again the physical barriers, though there is no congenital anomaly, okay, she is very much fine since birth, there are some physical barriers for that due to the pathology, the Nija rogas, we'll see that. Inflammation, infections also affect this. And the derangement of autonomous nervous system, yeah, sympathetic and the parasympathetic, that is the vagal derangement also doesn't allow the sperm to ascend. We'll see how. And physiological component of kshetra here is the artava, as I told you. Yeah. And dehadesha, as I told you, kshetra, whole body can be considered as kshetra. That is systemic diseases which lead to vandyatva. We'll deal one by one. Okay. Now coming to Garbhadana, Vivaha Samskara, eugenics. Okay, that is the selection of ultimate excellent genome lady, who has the genome, set of genomes. How? Okay, he says Vivaha Samskara, first of all, Samatvargata Viryav Taujaniyat. When Samatvargata Viryav, the Purusha and the Stree should be married. Okay, and they should have the Garbhadana at one particular kala. That is very, very important. That is Panchavimshati Varsha Purusha and Shudasha Varsha Stree. Okay, very, very important. So now age is the main reason where there is a lacuna for the conception. They get married at 35. Yeah, postpone conception till 40. At 40, they just realize, oh, we have to have a child, it is a to-do list. It is the first among the to-do list now. How is it possible? Isn't it? That is the main thing. The doctors can't correct that. Isn't it? Doctors can't correct that, and they have to have that conscious of eugenics for getting progeny. Atulya Gotra. Okay, so it is said that, as we have seen, Tulya Gotras will not have excellent combination of the genomes. Okay, so Atulya Gotra, Kula Prasuta. See, excellently they have told Kula Prasuta will be having excellence of the genetic makeup in a female. Yeah, Aroga, she should not have any roga, and Atibala, Abala also should be Varjya. And Sarvadosha Varjita, Stri Purusha should be there. Okay, that is before marriage. See, actually, Sarvadosha Varjita, what we see, instead of seeing Kundalis, we have to see the investigation reports. Yeah, now that is the thing, because that is so much important. Being aroga in Purusha and Stri even before marriage is so very important. Okay, now Garbhadana Samskara. Acharyas have told Purushasya Anupahataretasah Striyascha Pradushta Shonita Garbhashaye. Okay, so Anupahataretas and Shuddha Artave Arakte Marge, Shuddha Marga, how will you achieve? By Shodhana. Okay, that is epigenetics. Garbhadana Samskaras they have to follow. And in Rutukala they have to have the coital act. Garbhadana Vidhi, intercourse. See, very important is they do not, the couple do not know, the exact methodology, the method of intercourse. And Ayurveda is as a user manual for the life, isn't it? That shows since birth, Yeah, even in teenage, after marriage, what you have to do, how you have to be, sadvrita, sadachara. It is a user manual for life. Yeah. So Ayurveda, it advocates how the Garbhadana should be there. That is, it should not be Nyubja and Parshasthiti. Okay, it is told that Garbham na Vindati. And Shukra, when it is fallen on the Samirana Nadi, that is, it is unconsummation. Yes, again Vandya. And Yoni Vyapat here, which leads to difficult intercourse. The lady herself will not allow the male partner to do the intercourse. Yeah, that is Vatala, Vipluta, Paripluta, Acharana, and Shushka. I'll come to that. How it is. Yeah. And Garbhakaravavas, see, absence of the Garbhasambhava Samagri, Shedbhavas, Vyapatti Nimittajam, Ajanmam Bhavati. Matrutaha Vyapatti Nimittajam, Ajanma, Matrutaha Pitrataha. Shuddha Anila, absence of Shuddha, Shuddhe Garbhashe Marge Anile, yeah, absence of Jiva, yeah. So, when there is Samyoga of the Purusha and Stree with good ovulation, good sperm, and there is no Jiva, blighted ovum, isn't it? So, it is infertile, healthy, of course. Yeah. Now, as I told you, right, there are a few yoni vyapats and the rogas where the lady herself will not allow for the garbhadana. Okay, she will not allow. So definitely Vandyatva is the reason. Yeah. And when they come to the consultations, they won't reveal this many a times. Yeah. When you consult the male partner separately, he may reveal, isn't it? They are Vatala. That is Karkashata of Vatala Yoni Vyapati. It is so Karkasha that she feels pain. She won't allow. Hypoestrogenic syndrome. Vipluta Nitya Vedana. Every time there is pain in her genital region. That is perisacral neuralgia. Pariplata Gramya Dharme Rujabrisham. That is dyspareunia. Due to the vaginismus, there is spasm of the vagina when there is the coital act. She doesn't allow. Acharana. Here, the lady, maybe she is not interested, or the Manasa Bhavas act here. She attains the sexual orgasm before the male. So the whole complete coital act is not at all complete. You know, coital act is not complete at all. Okay. Shushka. Shosham yoni mukasya again. Yeah. So there is no secretion of the Bartholin, absence of Bartholin secretion, and which makes the coital act difficult. Okay. So these are the things which come under the coital act making difficult. Now we come to the next aspect where Kshetra Dushti, the deposition of the sperm and the ascent of the sperm is affected. See, first is congenital anomaly. Okay, where I think if you can appreciate my colored thing, the purple colored, yes, the yoni vyapats and the purple colored, the cervical pathology and vaginal pathology, what I have marked, they tell the ascent pathology. These are the pathologies which will not allow the sperm for ascent. Okay, and all other deformities, that is the Mullerian duct agenesis as classified by AFS, that is the underdevelopment, non-fusion, non-degeneration, they are for the sperm deposition. Okay, sperm deposition defects will be there. Now, for example, uterine agenesis. Yeah, uterine agenesis, tubal defect, fundal defect, combined unicornuate, yeah, and didelphus uterus. Okay, there is deposition itself is a problem. Okay, there is no vagina at all. Okay, septate vagina. Okay, where there is no deposition of the sperm at all. Okay, deposition defects. Now coming to ascent of the sperm defects. There is no cervix. How can the semen ascend, isn't it? There is no vagina at all again. How can it ascend? Now, pinhole loss of the cervix, Uchimukhi, retroplaced Antarmukhi, and Jimha, that is acute antiverted. So these are actually the congenital ones where the scope of treatment is very less. Okay, that is the deposition and ascent. Now, that was the congenital malformation. This is the acquired one. Yeah, after birth, what are the difficulties of the sperm ascent and deposition and ascent? What are the physical barriers? They are again the Dustita Yoni, inverted uterus, Samvrita, vaginal constriction is there. So these are the set of Kashipacharya told Yoni Vyapats. Okay. Nisrita, Prasramsini, Palini. Okay. All these are for the defect in the deposition. The male partner is unable to deposit itself. Though the coital act is possible, deposition of the semen is not possible. Because see, Samvaranad Anu Dwara, okay, vaginal constriction is there. And Nisrita Yoni, okay, Bahir Nirgamana, there is prolapse. How can he deposit, isn't it? And Vivrita, okay, Venu Nalika, that is, it is the coital act, though it is possible, deposition is also there, it comes back immediately, okay, because of the Venu Nalikavat thing, that is the vagina and the cervix, dilated, extra dilated vaginal and the cervix canal, okay. Sthana Vritta Yoni, Procedentia, Vatala Yoni Vyapat. Again, the Stabdata, it is very much difficult. The Stabdata part of the Vatala Yoni Vyapat, that is the vaginal stiffness due to the endometriosis complications. Yeah, this makes the deposition of the sperm impossible. Yoni Kanda, Nikuchakriti. See, there's a protuberant, round protuberation, okay, where deposition is difficult. Okay, so these are the physical barriers affect the deposition of the sperm itself. Now, coming to the physical barriers which come in ascent of the sperm and taking up of the ovum. Both these pathologies here, the ascent of the sperm is also not possible, and ovum uptake, though there is ovulation, ovum uptake by the fimbrial end and transportation to the tubes, it's not at all possible. Okay, that is Jimma, retroverted uterus. You all know that, isn't it? Acute antiverted also can be taken as Jimma. We know that when semen is deposited in the posterior vaginal fornices, the posteriorly faced cervix is very important, so that it is dipped in the semen, and there is ascent of the semen. But in acutely retroverted and retroverted and acute antiverted, this is not possible. So ascent is not there. Samvrita of Suchimukhi, that is the pinhole loss of the cervix, and congenital stenosis of the cervix. Ascent is not possible. Yoni arshas, upagnanti artavam, vaginal polyp will not allow the semen. And vatala, the stabdata, again, the adhesions, of the peritubal and uterine adhesions will not allow even the sperm to ascend and even the ovum to get into the tube through the fimbriae because of flimsy tubal adhesions and tubal blockage. Okay. So, Kshetra Dushti again. Okay. Now, coming to the Kshetra Dushti, where inflammation and the infection of the genital tract of the female, they won't allow the sperm to ascend at all. Okay. The sperm to ascend, again, they won't allow. That is due to inflammation and infection. That is Pitta. Okay. The first one is Pitta, where the inflammation and infection. So, inflammatory conditions of Pitta. Okay. Pitta Jayoni Vyapat, where there is Daha. That is nothing but PID, pelvic inflammatory disease. And Pariplata, as Acharya Charaka says, Chuna, Sparsha, Kshama, in Pitta Prakriti Nari. PID in Pitta Prakriti. Okay. Rudirakshara, Sadaham Prasrati Asram Sa Rudirakshara. That is the inflamed cervical polyp or cervicitis with cervical erosion. All these are the inflammatory conditions, okay, which can be correlated to the inflammatory in Pitta as Pitta conditions and infections. That is, in infections where Pitta is the reason, Pitta Jayoni Vyapat, where Daha Paka is more acute infection of the genital tract. Sannipataja, Sarvalinga Samuthana, where again the acute infection due to systemic causes. This is Sadhya. Now, coming to Kapha and Vata as a reason for the inflammatory and infectious cause, again, which does not allow the sperm to ascend. Karnini, Shleshma Sribhyam. So, there is excess vaginal discharge, which does not allow the semen to ascend. Cervical erosion. Aticharana, Shofa, Sopti, Bhavati. Isn't it? Due to excessive coitus, yeah, there is vaginal inflammation. The whole vagina is inflamed. That is the initial cause, initial stage can be taken. That is Vata predominant. Aticharana, as Charaka says. Inflammation in conditions where kapha and vata is involved. Now, the infectious condition again, okay, that is nothing but the worm infestation. Here, the kaphaja infection is nothing but the worm infestation can be taken up. As in Shleishmika, Kandu, Pandu, Pichilasrava, and Alpavedana. Acharana, according to Charaka, that is Yovnyanscha Adava, Kandujata Jantavaha, Sanjayapi Krimihi. Okay, and Krimija, that is Vipruta according to Vag, but all these are the Krimi, okay, which causes the Kaphavardhana, okay, which can be considered as the infection or the worm infestation causing Kaphavardhana, and then does not allow the sperm for the ascendant deposition. That can be correlated to mainly the Candida fungal infections, okay, and Trichomonas vaginalis. That is the Jantavaha, the protozoal infections. Now, the main thing, as I told you, sperm again, Kshetra Dushti due to autonomic nervous system defect. That is nothing but the Udavarta of the Yoni. Yoni Udavartayate. See here, actually, Udavarta Yoni Vyapat is actually dysmenorrhea. Fine. But Udavartana in Yoni, that Udavarta Yoni Vyapat is characterized with Udavartana of Anila. That is nothing but the default in the ascent due to the deranged autonomic nervous system and vagal hyperstimulation and retrograde motion. Okay, Vegodavartanat yonim, yonimudavartayate anilaha. That is the retrograde motion, that is Vata anulomana will not be there. Deranged Vata movement can be correlated to the derangement of vagal stimulation. Okay, autonomic nervous system. So, these were the anatomical component. Now, physiological component of Kshetra. Okay, Kshetra can also be taken as Artava, as I told you, isn't it? So, they are the endometrium. If we take that, how can endometrium, okay, that is nothing but the absence of endometrium, presence of very little endometrium, presence of thick endometrium, how can this be a cause for infertility? Let us see. Ashtartava dushti, okay, prajotpadanena samartaha bhavati. Yeah, vata pitta and all those ashtartava dushtis, shukra dushtis, as we see, prajotpadanena samartaha bhavati. Actually, what happens is, due to the deranged menstrual fluid defect, isn't it? These are, yeah, there is defective implantation. Okay, that is the proteomes in the menstrual fluid is deranged. Okay, see, now it is the recent study that the proteomes in the menstrual study are a potent parameter for the study of the quality of menstrual blood. Okay, so don't you think that modern science has never told the derangement in the menstrual blood, yeah, as a reason for infertility? And our acharyas have told it. Yeah, deranged proteomes of the menstrual blood, that to 8 types, they cause defective implantation. Kshina Artavadushti, among that Ashtava Artavadushti in particular, that is the Vata Pittabhyam, can be particularly correlated to hypomenorrhea or amenorrhea, be it either primary or secondary, due to the tubercular endometritis conditions. Okay, Xinkshe, that is adhesions. Okay, endometrial adhesions can be taken. Artavakshaya. So, again, see, Yatochita Kala, Adarshanam of Artavakshaya, we took it in Rutu, Vyapat, isn't it? Alpata of Artavakshaya, we have taken it in Kshetra Dushti. Okay. So, what I say is, see, such classifications of the rogas and classifications of the pathology itself will tell you how you have to go with the treatment aspect. Okay. So, Alpata of the Artava in Artavakshaya is particularly due to hypomenorrhea, and which is due to the estrogen deficiency in particular. And here, as I told you, more thickness of the endometrium, that is Asrugdara, which is nothing but Asrugdara. Asrja, Acharya Charaka says it is nothing but Asrugdara. Both are same. Okay. And Harita says, Vandyanam Kshiranadyastu Vatena Paripuritaha Vatam Chana Kshiram Chana Bhavet Tattu Artavam Chati Pravartate. Okay. That is nothing but menorrhagia like conditions. Regular. Cycle is regular. But menorrhagia, excessive bleeding. Okay, so all these can be taken as menorrhagia due to hyperprolactin, as Acharya Harita says. Okay, Vandyanam Kshiranadi. Okay, that is nothing but again hyperprolactin condition in PCOS. See, this is the fourth or fifth correlation of PCOS, isn't it? Yeah, that is nothing but Haritacharya's Avandyatva or the Raja Pradeeryate part of Asriddhara. Yeah, when usually the lean PCOS we have seen, they come with menorrhagia, continuous bleeding, though it is regular menorrhagia, lean PCOS conditions. Okay, and in Asriddhara again, we can correlate it to Vataja, Pittaja and Kafaja Asriddhara. Okay, though it is regular, menorrhagia is there, fibroid, adenomyosis and DOB conditions. Okay, and Acharya Sushruta says particular separate entity as Nashtartava. Okay, he says Nashtartava. What does he mean by that is Doshair Avrita Margatvat Artavam Nashyati Striya. See, he says due to Avarana like condition. Okay, Vata Avarana, Marga Avarana, anything can be the thing. Sroto Avarana also can be the thing. There is Nashtartava, that is secondary amenorrhea. Again, here we can take PCOS, Nashtartava. See, PCOS correlations are when she comes with secondary amenorrhea, Nashtartava, when there is hyperprolactinemia, it is Asriddhara, isn't it? So many correlations for PCOS. And hypothyroidism also is a reason for this Nashtartava because of Avarana. I'll just deal later. Okay. Now, come here, in continuation of the Artavadishti, here with Vandya as told by Sushruta, not Charakacharya. It is by Sushrutacharya, Vandya Nashtartava Vidyat. What all can be taken here as primary amenorrhea due to unresponsive endometrium, Mullerian agenesis, androgen sensitivity, androgen insensitivity syndrome. Okay, all these can be taken as Vandya where there is primary amenorrhea itself. Okay, now Shandi, Nartavastana Shandi Karasparsha Chamaitune, definitely there is no Artava at all because of the intersex. Okay, no Artava at all. And Arajaska, as Acharya Charaka says, Arajasketi Anartava. Chakrapani says, Arajaska iti Anartava. That is Karshya Vaivarne Janani Brisham. There is so much bleeding during her menses that after the bleeding phase, there is continuous amenorrhea. Karshya Vaivarne Janani Brisham. That is Anartava. Continuous bleeding so much that the anemia causes secondary amenorrhea. Okay, so these are all the conditions where Artava is Dushti. Artava here, Kshetra Dushti. Now, as I told you, Kshetra can also be taken as Sarvadaihika, isn't it? Sarvadaihika means the whole other system. Yeah, systemic diseases, other system other than the Artavaha Srotas. Yeah, we can take it as Datvagni Mandya, Avarana, Swatavarana. Endocrinal dysfunctions, that is thyroid dysfunctions, diabetes mellitus, insulin resistance in PCOS. Yes, it can be taken. Thyroid dysfunction, specifically the hypothyroidism. Staulya, okay. In Staulya, we know that it is Rasadhatu Dushti and Uttara Dhatu Pushti is absent. And again, in obesity, obese patients, yes, only though in obese patients, there is continuous or there is regular menses, ovulation is also there. Yes, but there is no conception because of the leptin deficiency. The quality of the ovum is not good. Okay. Then other Artavaha, Annavaha Sroto Vikaras. See, nowadays we are seeing so much that ladies, they come with Amlapitta, Grahani like conditions, and they also have infertility. When we treat Amlapitta, Grahani, etc., yes, they conceive. Okay, malabsorption syndrome, which actually affects again the Rasadhatu. Okay, so these are the Kshetra Dushtis where systemic diseases are concerned. Okay, so until now, we finished the Rutu Dushtis, the various detailed spectrum of Kshetra Dushtis we saw, and now we go to Ambu Dushti. Ambu is nothing but the Rasadhatu Matuhu Ahara Saha. That is Rasa Pradoshaja Vikaras. We know Ashtadhacha, Ruchishasya, Irsya, Rasagnata. Klaibhya Sadaha Krishangata. Klaibhya in female, male. Vandyatva in female can be taken. Nothing but malnutrition due to hypoestrogenic condition. Again, Dhatukshaya and Balakshaya Vandyatva is the cause, Belacharya says. Okay, that is excessive, the female who just does multitasking nowadays with reference to physical exertion, excess lactic acid, it is told that it deranges the whole HPO axis. Okay, so that was just Ambu, just the thing. Ahara rasa, okay, that needs different treatment itself. Okay, now coming to Bija Dushti. Now, Kshetra Ambu is over. Now the Bija, main important thing, anovulation. Okay, these are the correlations of anovulation. No ovulation at all. Okay, we see in Vandya, Nashtartava. See, again, you might ask me that we had included Vandya of Sushruta even in Artava Dushti, and that is Kshetra Dushti, isn't it? Because Artava can either be correlated even to menstrual blood. Bijarupi Artava also can be taken by the word Artava. Okay, Bijarupi Artava here, if we consider it is amenorrhea, or sorry, anovulation, Bijarupi anovulation, where in which all conditions it occurs, that is ovarian failure. Okay, there are no follicles at all. Streak gonads. Yeah, those gonads are very streak. It is not at all developed. There are no follicles. Gonadal dysgenesis and hypergonadotrophic. The higher orchestra is intact. Yeah, hypothalamus and pituitary is intact, but ovary is not intact. Hypergonadotrophic hypogonadism. All these can be considered as Vandya. Nashtartava. Again, as I told you, doshaihi avritamaghatvat. What causes avarana and causes anovulation is luteal unruptured follicle. There is ovum. Ovum is there inside the graphial follicle but unable to rupture. Okay, that is again due to avarana. And avarana in PCOD like conditions again can be taken as nashtartava. Here again, definitely Shandi is bija dosha, isn't it? Anartava astani. It is nothing but the intersex Turner syndrome like conditions which lead to bija dushti. That is gonadal agenesis. There is no gonads at all. Hypogonadotrophic hypogonadism, where there is defect in the higher orchestra centers. That is the hormonal orchestra. That is the HPO axis itself. Okay, and Pushpagni Jataharani, as Acharya specifically says that though there is menstrual bleeding, regular menstrual bleeding, there is no praja. Okay, that is hyperandrogen condition in PCOD can be taken as Pushpagni Jataharani. Okay, so these were the linga, lakshanas, or the spectrum of diseases of Yoni Vyapat, Ashtarthavadushti, Jataharini, Asragdara, Artavakshaya, Nashtartava, okay, which are categorized into Rutukshetra Ambu Bija so that treatment is very easy for us. Okay, so these were the linga, that is Hetu is over, linga lakshanas are over. Now coming to investigations. See, in modern investigations, like when we see, you get investigations for vaginal, cervical pathology, uterine pathology, ovarian pathology. But here, I just want to again classify the investigations as Rutukshetra Ambu Bija itself, because these are the investigations not for the one particular disease. Okay, so for all those spectrum of diseases which causes Rutu derangement, you can advise these particular investigations. All those spectrum of diseases causing the Kshetra Dushti, you can tell these investigations. Okay, so this is the thing. So I just wanted, to make a handbook for infertility. Okay, it is a guide for us, just which can facilitate with the diagnosis of the infertility. Okay, that's why it was categorized. Okay, now for the spectrum of diseases causing Rutu derangement, what are all the investigations? Okay, Rutu, as I told you, irregular ovulation is there, but irregular ovulation is there. Okay, LH, very, very important. So hyper LH secretion, luteinizing hormone secretion, hyperestrogen is there, and anovulation. Okay, and oligoovulation also. Okay, FSH again, as we know, in hypergonadotrophic hypogonadism, streak ovaries, ovarian failure, FSH is very much more. Okay, and ratio of LH and FSH, as we see in PCOS like conditions, very, very important. Okay, serum estradiol, progesterone, free testosterone. Okay, androgen excess, which causes PCOS, DHEA, SHBG, that is sex hormone binding globulin, serum prolactin, very, very important for the hormonal homeostasis, for the exact functioning of the HPO axis. Okay. Now coming to the Kshetra Dushtis, what are all the investigations we can do? Okay, for the physical barrier when you suspect, USGs. Okay, that can also be done. And MRI, see, for endometriosis and adenomyosis like condition, more than USGs nowadays, to note that specific patch of the endometrial and adenomyotic, MRI is also suggested. Hysteroscopy also, yeah, to know whether there are intratubal adhesions, intrauterine adhesions, hysteroscopy with chromopertubation. Okay, and infection and inflammation, again the pap smear, wet mount and culture accordingly. Okay, and Artava, when we consider it as a Kshetra, endometrial biopsy or endometrial pipelle, what we call. Systemic disease, again, thyroid function test, glucose profile where FBS, PPBS, HbA1c, glycosylated hemoglobin, glucose tolerance test, everything can be told. Ambu, yes, now comes the Dhatu level. Okay, the complete blood count, the hemoglobin level, yes, it has to be seen. Bija, yes, here comes the Bija aspect. Investigations for anovulation, no ovulation at all. Okay, nowadays you get the OTC, over the counter ovulation strips, which tells the LH surge, isn't it? That also can be taken up for the patients itself. But usually, these ovulation strips cause anxiety in the couple. Yeah, the lady tests the ovulation with the ovulation strips in the mid-cycle. She reports to her husband, yes, today is my ovulation, tomorrow is my ovulation, yesterday was my. See, they become so mechanical, isn't it? The putra prapti or begetting an offspring should not be so objective and mechanical. Yeah, it should be an outcome of saumanasya. So, but according to me, like it is better not to suggest the usage of ovulation strips for patients. Yeah, and even follicular monitoring. Yeah, they are so much anxious. They compare it. Okay, it is this much mm. Yesterday it was that much mm. How much mm should it go? Will it, which one, left side or right side? Which one will, where will the ovulation be? See, they are so much anxious. So sometimes I feel, these investigatory reports, which should be made unaware to especially the infertile couple. But nowadays it is a little difficult because of the legal aspects also. Yeah. And AMHC, as I told you, anti-Mullerian hormone, this says the ovarian reserve. Yeah, she may attain, nowadays lady attains menopause at the age of 35, 37. Yeah, AMH gives us the insight. FSH again. So AMH and the FSH, hyper FSH shows again the ovarian failure. That is, there are no follicles at all. Endometrial biopsy. See, when there is an endometrial biopsy taken in the second half of the cycle and there is secretory endometrium, you can do an anumana pramana of ovulation, or else again there is no ovulation. So these are the set of investigations. Now, main thing, that is chikitsa. Am I very slow? Madam, is there a time 15 minutes more?
No.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. I'll continue, right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Continue, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
chikitsa siddhanta, what all should be our chikitsas, is main thing is the nidana parivarjanameva chikitsa. As I told you, the garbhadana vidhi, that is the main nidana parivarjana chikitsa. Yeah. We can definitely in Garbha Samskara units, yeah, we also have not preconceptional, it is premarital counseling, so that they should know that, what type of a partner they have to go with. Okay, or if they have any vyapats or the diseases which affect the fertility, they can definitely take a treatment and then go for marriages. Yeah, nidana parivarjana goes for, again, as I told you, garbhadana, that is vivaha samskara, garbhadana samskara. Okay, purushasya anupahataretasah pradushta yoni. Okay, where shodhana is given, and garbhadana vidhi. Okay, they should be told how the coital act should be done, and that is again a part of the garbha samskara units nowadays. Yeah, okay, so that is very, very important. There we can just get the nidana parivarjana, and definitely speaking with the lady and speaking with the male and the female partner together and separately is very much required to elicit the nidanas. Okay, we can know the deranged ahara vihara paddhati of theirs also. Okay, so that is nidana parivarjanameva chikitsa. And samprapti vigatanameva chikitsa. As I told you, Rutu Kshetra and Ambu Bija, yes, how there is samprapti, what doshas and dhatus are affected, sancharasthana, vyaktasthana, which dhatus are affected, and treating accordingly. And even the sarvadahika rogas, also systemic illnesses also, they should be treated accordingly for samprapti vigatanam. Okay, and main important is sattva jaya. Okay, and upagata manasi, when the lady is not happy, yeah, she is not contented, yes, there is no garbhadhana. Okay, absence of hridi, absence of saumanasya, presence of kama, shoka, krodha, bhaya, yes, no, not at all. Okay, even though there is conception and birth, it affects the offspring actually. Yeah, so all these should be counseled before marriage, after marriage, before conception, after. So Sattva-vajaya chikitsa is so much important at every level. Okay, so here we take up mainly the yogasanas, that is particularly the Surya Namaskara, pranayamas, Surya Namaskara, Pavanamuktasana, Agni Sarakriya. Okay, as the yogasanas, and pranayama is Nadi, Shodhana pranayama, Bastrika pranayama, Kapalabhati pranayama. Okay, very, very important ones. Okay, and for female particularly the Suryanuloma Viloma pranayama. Okay, if the Artavadushti is there, and for male it is Chandralunoma Viloma pranayama for an excellence in Shukra. Okay, and dhyana, very, very important. It is a form of self-counseling. Dhyana is a form of self-counseling where Shatchakra Sadhita Dhyana is very, very important. Okay, should be advocated to the couples for Bija Samskara also. Okay, and as a part of treatment of infertility. Okay, Daiva Vipashriya, yes, of course, as I told you, Daiva is the reason, as Acharyas have told. Yes, that is nothing but again, it depends upon the particular person's belief. Okay, what is Daiva, etc. But here I just want to stress upon the Samskrita shlokas. Okay, be it you believe it or not. Okay, that is you in the sense like if the patient believes in Daiva or the shlokas, mantras, chanting of the mantras or not, they have their effect. Okay, mantrocharana in that particular form has their own effect for Garbhadana. Okay, and we'll come to the Yukti Vipashri Chikitsa next. Okay, so that was the Siddhantas of Chikitsa. Now, Yukti Vipashri, the Samanya Chikitsas we come across now. Samanyataha, we know Panchashodhana. Why? Because Sarvam Vyapanna Yonim tu Karmavir Vamanadibihi. Acharya says Charaka, all 5 panchakarmas should be there for Avyapanna kshetras. Okay, and he also says Snigdha Svinnam Upachare, that is Snehapana and Svedana is also equally important. So I'll just tell when I just discuss now the Snehapana Ghratas. So the choice of the Snehapana Ghrata for Virechana Vamana is also very, very important. Okay, and Acharya says Yatha Dosham Samshodhanam. Acharya Sushruta says, okay, Yatha Dosham, whatever derangement is there according to the Prakriti, yes, you can do that. So as a part of Garbha Samskara, usually we first, give as a Vyadhi Pratinika Chikitsa, as a part of Garbha Samskara, we give in the Virechana in the first month, second month, Vamana, third month, it is the Basti treatment. Okay. And when do we give first Virechana? Virechana is Amrutopamam and Virechanena Bijam Bhavati Karmukam. When there is Bija Dushtis, definitely our first choice is Virechana, as Kashyapacharya says. Okay, and Basti is, as we know, Nahi Vatadatyam Yonim Narinam Sampradishyati. Yeah, that is, first is the Kshetra, the Apana Kshetra should be controlled. Bastis are very, very important. And for the formation of Bija, Acharya Kashyapa again says Anuvasana Bastis Amrutopamam. Okay, Steha Bastis. Okay. We will deal with each and everything later in slides. And Acharya also says Pumsavana Chikitsa. See, nowadays, you don't need to just worry with the word Pumsavana. Yeah. Legally, definitely the sex determining part of Pumsavana should not be done. Definitely. But why are you leaving the other part of Pumsavana where that goes to Garbhakara Pumsavana? Yeah. And Garbhasthapaka Pumsavana. Why not? Yeah. Garbhakara Pumsavana, Acharya Vagbhata says Pumsavana should be done for 12 days. It is nothing but before conception, isn't it? So that is a part of the treatment of yoni, the infertility only, Vandyatva only. He says you have to treatment in the Rutukala. Okay, that is the fertile period to get or to beget an excellent ovum. Okay, that is Pumsavana Chikitsa here doesn't mean specifically, I'm repeating, it is not definitely the sex determining Chikitsa, but of the fetus, of course. Yeah? But it is the infertility treatment. Okay, please note that. Garbhini Chikitsa, again, here, as we say, Acharya says Jivaniya Dravyas. Again, in Masanumasika Garbhini Chikitsas, he says Jivaniya Dravyas, yeah, Garbhasthapaka Dravyas. Okay, all those can be advocated in the treatment of infertility also. Aindri, Brahmi, Sahasravirya, Shatavirya, yeah, Garbhasthapaka Dravyas for infertility treatment. Okay, so next, coming to one by one. Now, yeah, Rasayanas. So after Shodhana, Shamana, Rasayana Chikitsas are very, very important. So usually what we give here for Vata, Jivantyadighrita, Brahmigrita, okay, Balamula, Kshirapaka, Tripaladyagrita. And for Pitta, it is Chavanaprasha, Amalaki Rasayana, Kushmanda Rasayana. Kushmanda Rasayana is a very potent treatment for anovulation as a Rasayana, of course, yeah. And Yashtimadugrita, Yashti Kshirapaka, Phalagrita. For Kapha, Lashana Rasayana, see Acharya Kashyapa has dedicated a whole chapter for Lashana Kalpa, isn't it? Very, very important. Lashana Kshirapaka, Vardhamana Lashana Rasayana, okay, and Chitraka Haritaki. Now, Chikitsas of Rutudushti. Now, coming to here also, I'm again specifically telling that please don't take the Chikitsas for this particular roga. Allah, it is not that. That particular roga, when it is presented with that particular symptom, that is when Artavakshaya is presented with Yatochitakala Adarshanam, that is irregular and scanty menstruation. Okay, so this is the treatment for irregular scanty menstruation. Shodhana, Vamana. Acharya says definitely Vamana should be done, not Virechana. We know that, isn't it? The Chikitsa Siddhanta. Because again, the Pitta Kshaya will be there in Virechana, and again that leads to more Artavakshaya. Okay, hence Vamana is the main line of treatment in Artavakshaya, and usually Tripaladyagrita is used for Nehpana. Nasya and Agneyancha Dravyanam Vidhivad Upayogaha, Shamana. Okay, Nasya is Mahanarayana Taila and Shatapushpa Taila. And Acharya says for Artavakshaya again, as I told you, Agneyam Chadravyanam Vidhivad Upayogaha, Chitrakadivati, Gomutra Haritaki, Pipalyasava, Kanashata Vadikashaya, Kumaryasava. Okay, and regularization of the menstruation cycle. How do you regularize? So we have a particular treatment protocol. Yeah, first half, as we know, it is estrogen excess. So we give Shatavari, leptidin-like conditions, leptidin-like dravyas, okay, as a phytoestrogenic dravyas, and second half progesterone, Okay, opposing the estrogen, that is Kumari, Garbhapala Rasa. Okay, progesteronic effect. Okay, so this is the menstrual regulation treatment. Fine. Now, again, I'm telling Asridhara treatment here it is with reference to menometrorrhagia of Asridhara. Okay, that is irregular and heavy bleeding of Asridhara I've taken. The treatment for that is Virechanam Amrutopamam Garbhasayasriji Virekaha. Usually, definitely Tiktagrita is definitely taken for this condition. Okay. And Basti Chikitsa is Amrutopama here. Chandanadi Niruha Basti, and to alternate with Anuvasana, we have Shatavari for Shatavari Taila for Anuvasana. Shamana, again, we have the Shatavari Grita, Palagrita, Ashoka Grita, Mahatiktaka Grita, Ashoka Kshirapaka, and Kushmanda Valeha. This is for menometrorrhagia for Asrigdara. Okay. Now, Yoni Vyapat interfering with the Garbhadana Vidhi. For that treatment, as I told you, Vatala, Karkashata of Vata, as I told you, to treat the Karkashata of Vatala Yoni Vyapat. Okay, Yoni Abhyanga with Mahanarana Taila, Bala Taila, Yoni Pichu with Jivantya the Yamaka or Grita. Okay, Viplata Nitya Vedana, Pariplata, Gramya Dharme, Rija Brisham, Shushka Yoni Vyapat. Okay, all these things there is common treatment. Okay, that is Basti Amrutopama, Rasnadi Niroha Basti, Dashamola Niroha Basti, and Anuvasanage Taila, Bala Taila, Mahanarana Taila. And Shamana, Kashmari Adigrata, Tripaladya, the Rasna Irandadi Kashaya, Gandharva Hastadi Kashaya, and for Shushka Yoni Vyapat, Jivantyadikana Dravyas with Kshira can be told. And Bahir Parimarjan Chikitsa for all these three, that is Vipluta, Paripluta, and Shushka, is same as Vatala. And Acharana here, that is we use the Pipalyasava and the Saraswata Rishta, usually it is used here. Okay, because Acharana Purushadachi Atirichi, that is she orgasmic incompatibility, isn't it? So you have to reach the Manasa level. So Saraswata Rishta, yes, acts good. Now, Shastra Sad Kshetra. Now we come to the second part of the Chikitsa. Okay, so Rutu was over. Now we come to the Kshetra Dushtis. Shastra Sadhyas are also, as I told you, as a barrier, physical barrier. Very, very important. So these are the list of the Vyadhis as told by Acharya Kashyapa, and he says how it can be manipulated also. Dustita correlated to inverted uterus, Sthapayet Punaha. Okay, it should be replaced. Jimham, here it is taken as Antarmukhi. Okay, Antarmukhi, that is retroplaced or acutely retorted. Panina Unnamanam, that is biomanual straightening or putting a pessary. Samvrita or Suchimukhi, constricted vagina cervix also you can take, or pinhole loss of the cervix you can take. Okay, that is Vardhana, Angulya Prasarana, either with Anguli or the dilatation as we do with the dilators. Nisrita, nothing but Prasramsini or Palini. Nisritam Bahiragata. Okay, nothing the first and second degree uterine prolapse, and Palini, cystocele and rectocele, Praveshet, insert it. Okay. And Vivrita, extra very much dilated vaginal canal and cervical canal, again with cystocele and rectocele can be compared to. Okay, and Kolpo perineuraphy, Parivartayet. Okay, stricture, causing a stricture. Okay, Sthanapavritta Yoni, that is Sthanat Bahiragata, fully procedentia. Okay, Shalya Sadrisham, Vishallikarana should be done, that is hysterectomy. Now, again, Shastra Sadhya, here again it is Yoni Ashes, that is the cervical polyp, and Shastra Sadhya, polypectomy, Yoni Kanda, Bartholin, IND. Okay, and Aushadha Sadhya, physical barriers, now I am telling, for Antarmukhi and Suchimukhi, yeah, Vataja thing, Basti with Dashamola Niruha can be given. And here in Antarmukhi, usually we suggest the ladies after the coitus just be in the Pavana Muktasana, that particular condition, Yubja condition, for at least 15 to 20 minutes, so that the external loss will just go into the seminal pool and helps the ascent. Okay, it is not that a definitive one, but again it can help. Okay. And Bahirparimarjana is Sneha Pichu with Mahanaran Taila and Kshirabala Taila. And again, where the Prasramsini and Palini, okay, which disturbs the seminal ascent, causing the physical barrier. Definitely the Basti and Uttara Basti, that is the Yonikata Basti. Here it is not the Garbhashya Basti. Acharya says Uttara Basti to Yoni Garbhashya Gatam. Yoni Basti can be taken up. Okay, that is with Prasaranyadi Taila usually. And Yoni Abhyanga with Ashwagandha Balalakshadi Taina, Yoni Pichu with Kalkadharana, Lajjalu and Veshavara also. Okay. And Vatala Yoni Vyapat, again causing the Stabdata and Karkashata and tubal block. Okay. Post endometrial conditions, adhesions, tubal block. Definitive treatment is the Uttara Basti with Kshara Taila and Lashuna Taila or Kumari Taila. Now, how will you treat the inflammation and infectious conditions? So, inflammation and infection due to Pitta, as we see in Paripruta, Rudirakshara, and Aticharana, as according to Charaka, as I told you, yeah, the Lakshanas, as I told you, it is with definitely with Virechana. Shamana is use of Sariva, Manjishta, Tripala, Gokshura, Punarnava, and Rasaushadis should be used here for Yugapat action, that is Gandhaka, Rasayana, Trivanga Bhasma, Swarnamalini Vasanta, Arogya Vardini Vati. Bahirparimarjana is Yoni Prakshalana with Panchavalkala Kashaya, Yoni Pichu with Shita Dravya, that is Chandanadi Taila, Tripaladi Taila. And inflammation and infection with Shleishmika. As I told you, the Candida, Trichomonas, okay, where even the cervical erosion and cervicitis was the condition. Karnini and Krimija, Vamana is advocated. Okay, use of Chandraprabha, Arogyavardhini, and Aragodadi Kashaya, Pushyanuga Churna, as I told you, and Yoni Prakshalana with Tripala Kashaya. Shodhanavartis are excellent here. Yeah, that is Kushtadi Yonivarti, Pipaladi Yonivarti, we use it. Okay, usually, as I told you, in inflammation and infectious condition, just altered pH of the vagina does not allow the sperm, the semen to ascend. Okay, so this Shodhanavarti has an excellent action on correction of the vaginal pH. Okay, and as Udavarta, yeah, Vega Kalina Avastha and Avega Avastha. Here Vega Kalina, I meant to say dysmenorrhea, primary or secondary dysmenorrhea. When the lady comes with severe pain, yes, you can treat. There is an excellent result with Matra Basti. Okay, immediate effect. Okay, so that is Matra Basti with Dhanvantaram Taila. Yeah, 60 ml. Yes, she finds immediate relief. And Avega Avastha, that is in intermenstrual period, Niroha Basti, that is for Vata Shamana, Dashamula Niroha Basti, and simple anunomala dravyas will cure Udavarta. Okay, that is Tripala Churna, Haritaki, Rasnerandadi Kashaya, Vipatikara Churna, Abhayarishta. Yeah, it causes. Now, here, Kshetra Dushti Artavam. Okay, that is defect in Artava. Okay, defective Artava. That is Ashta Artava Dushtis. Yatha Dosha Shodhana should be done. And for Vataja Artava Dushti or Vata involvement in the Artava Dushti, Kashmaryadigrita, Panchakola, use of Panchakola is okay. Pipali Mulacha, which is very important. And for Pitta involvement in the Artava Dushti, Kakolyadigrita, Chandanadi Churna. And for Kapha, it is Kshiri Vriksha Kashaya and Kuttada Kashaya. It is very important. And Kshina Artava Dushti. Okay, so there is, as I told you, endometrial tuberculosis, Virechana, with Kumaragrita, Sneha Basti. Okay, and direct Uttara Basti is it acts as a local treatment for adhesions due to endometrial tuberculosis. Okay, with Bala Taila, Palagrita. Okay, and Shamana also, Palagrita, Jivantyadigrita, and Yonipichu can be used. And Kshina Artavadushti, as I told you, that is the hypoestrogenic condition leading to oligomenorrhea. Virechana with Kumaragrita, Sneha Basti, Uttara Basti with Palagrita, okay, Balataila, and internal Palagrita, Jivantyadigrita, and same with Pichu also. And Artava Kshaya, Alpata part of Artava Kshaya, okay, that is Vamana can be given, Tila plus Guda, okay, and Raja Pravartini Vati, Shatavari can be used. Shatavari Kshirapaka, Mahanayana Taila, Pana. And Nashtartava part, that is again the secondary amenorrhea like conditions due to PCOS. That is Vamana, Virechana, and Lekana Basti should be given here for Avarana Harana. And Avarana Hara Chikitsas, usually Chandra Prabhavati and Shiva Gutika have Shilajatu in the content, helps Chikitsa. Okay, Yoni Dhupana also can be done for getting the menses for secondary amenorrhea. Now, again, in Artava Dushti, that is heavy bleeding like condition, that is menorrhagia like conditions, here again, according to Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, Lajjalu Swarasa for Vata, Lajjalu Swarasa, Kanchanar Gugulu Bhadradarvadi Kashaya is used. For Pitta, derangement of menorrhagia like conditions, which can also present in PCOD. Yeah. Panchavalkala Kashaya Pana, 20 to 30 ml BD. Yeah. Negrodadi Kashaya and Mudgadyagata. Kapha is Bolaparpati and Nagakesara Churna. Okay. That is to stop the Rakta Stapana Chikitsas. When, as I told you, the lean PCOS lady, when she comes with heavy bleeding and it is not at all stopping, these can be taken up. And Vandhya Yoni Vyapat, here also unresponsive endometrium can be taken here as for the unresponsive endometrium part of Vandhya. Okay, that is be it primary or secondary amenorrhea. What you can do is the Shodhana, dosha according to the dosha, and save as Artavakshaya chikitsas, as we told, the Dhupana, the Agneya Dravyas, yes, that can be used here. And the Jivaniya Dravyas also unresponsive, isn't it? So estrogen is not responsive in the lining of the endometrium. Yes, that can be done. Then Arajaska, here also Karshya Vaivarnya, that should be treated first. Okay, that is Santarpana Chikitsa should be done with Sneha Basti is excellent Santarpana, Gritapana. Okay, Gritapana, Yamakapana, and Mamsarasa, and treatment accordingly. Vaivarnya, why is the Vaivarnya, why is the Karshya? Okay, treatment accordingly should be done. Shandi, Ana, Sadhya, we know. Now, coming to systemic diseases, how can we tackle them? As we know that it is formed due to Dhatvagni Mandya and Avarana, hypothyroidism, Vamana is the best treatment. Okay, and you can put her on Kanchanara Gugulu, Katuki Churna. Okay, here local application of Katuki Churna at the level of the thyroid gland externally over the neck. Yeah, we have seen excellent result. Usually in the evening or late evenings, okay, at least for 3 to 4 hours, just mix with water, make a paste of Katuki Churna and application, excellent result in hypothyroidism. Okay, and insulin resistance, which either due to diabetes mellitus or insulin resistance in PCOS. Yeah, Tikshna Shodhana is very much necessary, and advocating her on Shiva Gutika, Chandra Prabhavati, Asanadi Kashaya, yeah, and Shatapushpa Churna, very important. Staulya treatment, that is Udvartana, Lekana Basti, and other Shamana Chikitsas. And as I told you, Amla Pittahara and Grahani, recently the lady came, we had a patient where the lady came with Amla Pitta. Okay, and also the infertility, Vandyatva, Amlapitta was treated. Okay, and immediately she conceived. Definitely, even the Shodhana was also advocated, and later the Jirakadhyarishta, Chitrakadivati, okay, Agnitundi. And Grahani Mustakarishta has a very good thing, okay, effect. Now, Ambudushti, of course, as I told you, Rasa Pradoshaja Vikaras and Pandu Chikitsa, Deepana Pachana should be done first for Rasa Pachana, okay, and Loha Basma, Punarnava Mandora, okay, use of Arjuna and Draksha for Prinana in Pandu, very important. Dhatukshaya and Balakshaya, as I told you, as Ambudushti, Sneha Bastis, okay, with all these Gritas, Vidaryadi, Kushmandadi, Dadimadi is very good. Okay, I'm Damalaki Rasayana, okay, Vidari Kushmandadi Lehya, Maharshi Amrita Kalashveta, Amalaki, very, very important. Now, Bija Dosha, here is very important Bija Dosha. Okay, here Vandya, if we take it as the Bija Dosha and Nashtartava as Bija Dosha, only two. Okay, for streak gonads, be it ovarian failure, hypogonadism, for all these. So, just a moment. So for all that, if we consider it as the primary or secondary amenorrhea, you can take it as, okay, with anovulation, mainly anovulation, Palagrita, Kalyanaka Krita, okay, and Basti. Okay, Rajayapana Basti is excellent for anovulation, and Dashamula Niruha Basti and Lashuna Taila Matra Basti has excellent results for anovulation. Uttara Basti with Palataila, Mahanarayana Taila, and Nasya also. Here, as I told you, the Shodhana Nasya and Garbhakara Nasya is nothing but the Pumsavana Karma, as I told. Yeah, for anovulation, treatment of infertility. Yeah, Shodhana Nasya with Mahanarayana Taila, and here the Garbhakara Nasya, here the Vatashringa Nasya in the Rutukala of the lady, that is for 12 days, as Acharya Vagbhata has told, has excellent result on ovulation aspect. Okay, Shamana has Shatavari Grita, Vidaryadi Grita, Jivantyadi Grita, Phalasarpis. Okay, Vata and Pitta, and if it is Kapha dosha, okay, with anovulation, it is Saptasara Kashaya, Sukumara Kashaya, Hingo Achadi Churna. And now here it is Nashtartava. That is, if there is Avarna leading to secondary amenorrhea, it is luteinized unruptured follicle, or in PCOS, Vamana is the main line of treatment. Okay. And use of Pushpadanvarasa, Pipalyasava, Kana Shatafadi Kashaya is very, very important. Okay. So this is the treatment of Bija level. Okay. So now we come to the Patya as, okay, this is in Shastras only. Okay. Yonivyapat Patya and Asriddhara Patya accordingly. Okay. That is Shashtikashali, Yava, Mudga, Patola, Lashuna, Dadi Madraksha, okay, Gritakshira, Mamsarasa, and Purana Dhanya, which is very much missed by everyone nowadays. Yeah, they are so ignorant regarding Purana Dhanya. Yeah, we have seen people, they purchase the Dhanya, refrigerate it, you know. See, this is so much basic knowledge regarding the Ahara Vihara Paddhati and basic knowledge regarding their own body, yeah, which is where the people are being so much ignorant. And Manda as Apatya in Yoni Vyapat, as it is told. So with this, even the Chikitsa is also complete. So just to conclude, I want to say that Vandyatva Chikitsa is not just with Dravyas. Yeah, please don't think, no, definitely Dravyas do matter. I'm not telling about that, but the whole mindset of the whole population should change, you know. Their targets of life, you know, the male, you know, just being so stressful with the profession, the female being so stressful with the multifaceted responsibilities. Yes, and just having no knowledge regarding the natural life God has given us. They don't know that. Yeah. So advocating and educating people regarding that, you know, it is nothing but these are the main things. Ahara, Nidra, Brahmacharya, these are the main things in life, more important than other things, than other material aspects. That is very, very important for the treatment of Vandyatva. So at least if we start now, the next generation, yeah, I think we can curb the incidences of infertility. It is like that. Okay. So yes, everyone should join hands for that. Okay. So with this, I end my speech. Yeah. With the Hetu Linga and Aushadha part of Vandyatva with the particular categorization. So thinking that it might help in your clinical practice. So I thank principal, the vice principal, the management, Vijay Lakshmi madam, and definitely Ashwini madam, who just contacted me for the webinar. Yeah, I thank all the students here. Yeah, the interns, UGs, PGs, the PhD students, the faculties, and the practitioners here. Thank you all, the delegates, yeah, the chairpersons, dignitaries. Thank you all. Thank you very much for the patient listening. Thank you so much. Any doubts, please? I might have left many things. Please let me know. We can discuss. Thank you all once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for
Yeah, thank you.
inviting us with your enormous knowledge about management of infertility. Thank you so much. Now I request Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Hadimani ma'am, HOD of Department of Prasuti Tantra and Stri Roga, to address the session.
Good afternoon, one and all. Thank you, Dr. Sindhu Umesh ma'am, for an in-detailed explanation regarding the causative factors of the infertility and its management with a beautiful slide. Thank you so much, ma'am, for spending your valuable time with us. Thank you, ma'am. And I
Thank you,
also
ma'am.
thank
Thank you.
our thank you, ma'am. And I also thank our respected principal, sir, Dr. Sanjay Kadlimati, sir, and our vice principal, Dr. Seshidhar Naik, sir, for their valuable support. And I thank Dr. Prashad Shakti Gannur, ma'am, for guiding us. I thank all our technical committee members and also Dr. Deepanjali, madam, for guest introduction, and our beloved internee, Dr. Revati, for anchoring. And thank all the participants today who have joined here. Thank you, one and all. And tomorrow there is a session, scientific session, around 11 o'clock by Dr. Satish Jalihal, sir, Professor, PG Department of Prasuti Tantra and Sri Roga, SBM Ayurveda Medical College, Ilkan, on the topic critical evaluation of yoni vapor in comparison with the gynecological disorder. It will be starting by 11 o'clock. I request all the participants to join tomorrow with the link which will be sent. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, madam. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.